For about the fourth time now, Eternals is canceled, but this time it's for realsies. That's right.
Mhm.
Let's start with the guys that were pushing back on this story in March when we'd already started to hear in January that this thing was doomed. But Eternals 2 is not canceled, according to Fandom Wire back then. That's going to give fans hope for the underrated Marvel franchises. Well, guess what?
Underrated?
Yeah, it was the worst rate. Yeah, so moving on from that story, because this is a little timeline here, we moved on to this one. And this is from Collider, which was published a day ago. Eternals 2 just got a reportedly disappointing update. Uh-oh, what is it? It's not in active development, but Marvel may have future plans for it. All right, then we move closer to reality with Gizmodo saying Eternals 2 is probably dead. And Kit Harington's not too bothered about it. That's right. He spoke publicly about the franchise and the fact that, as far as he knows, nothing's happening, basically. He also talked a little bit about why we got garbage Game of Thrones in the 8th season. If you're interested in that, you certainly take a look at those articles. But from a source that I think we should be able to believe, Cosmic Book News says Marvel not developing Eternals. And there you go. Definitively, no moss of this garbage. Are you? Let's get into this story, and then I'm going to ask you if you're disappointed. So be prepared. It's 3 strikes and you're out. Well, it was out for Eternals sequel right away, but for the third time, it said no Eternals 2 is happening. The first Eternals bombed at the box office with both critics and fans because it was hot garbage. Recently saw Kevin Feige confirm that there are no immediate plans for Eternals 2, which followed claims that Disney CEO Bob Iger said Eternals 2 would be a guaranteed flop. Well, that didn't sound good. Now Variety weighs in and states Marvel is reportedly not developing a sequel, which is the softest way possible for them to say it's canceled because they, serve the shills. So
Yeah.
they got to keep their audience happy.
Yep.
So go ahead.
And we're still supposed to be getting the Ron Johnson trilogy too, aren't we?
I think that's probably dead also, but that's just me. Anyway, we'll move on through the article a little bit more and say, I'm not going to pretend I took the role because it was different and interesting. This is Kit Harington speaking. If Marvel calls you, you got to do it. Harington told GQ about playing Dane Whitman, a.k.a. Black Knight. The Eternals post-credit scene was supposed to set up Kit Harington appearing in Blade along with Mahershala Ali. However, Blade has been pushed on the back burner and is presently getting retooled, which means we can't keep a writer, a director, nor the star happy.
Yeah, retooled for like what, the 5th time?
7. This will be 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So at one point, a version of the script had Ali's Blade getting killed off and replaced by his daughter. The Blade movie, this is where Mahershala Ali said, absolutely not. The Blade movie was also going to be all about female characters giving a lecture. That's all been scrapped, of course. We can also add that it seems likely Kumail Nanjiani is playing Booster Gold for James Gunn, which seems odd because Booster Gold is very white with blonde hair, but that's just me. The actor played Kingo in Eternals, but has been spotted at the Paris Olympics with DCU co-head Peter Safran and the cast of Superman. Well, that's going to be disappointing. The budget of Eternals is said to be well north of $200 million, but the film only brought in $400 million, which is really low for Marvel. Say something that's more understated than that. I dare you.
Yeah, which means it lost money.
It lost a boatload of money. Yeah. It's my understanding that Kevin Feige is trying to right the Marvel ship that sunk since the release of Avengers Endgame. A big rumor goes so far as to say Kevin Feige fired all those at Marvel Studios who ruined the MCU. Reportedly, that might include the producer whose idea it was to ruin Eternals. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Well done by Cosmic Book News. Now, gentlemen, we just went through 4 stories to get to this question. Were you looking forward to Eternals 2?
No,
I haven't watched Eternals 1, and nor will I. I don't think I will. I mean, I let a lot of things pass me by these days. I let a lot of things pass me by. If it's decided in the most general sense that something's good, and it also tickles my fancy, then I'll give it a whirl. I'm not just going to watch everything that gets made like that.
Yeah.
No. And then I watch someone exactly like Mr. H or Critical Drinker or whoever, and they pan it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm done. I'm not watching that.
Bo, you could have thrown my name in there, man.
Sorry.
Throw it in the mix.
You know, like you get the impression, like what a couple of the actual full franchise Star Wars films I haven't watched. I don't think I've seen episode 9. And again, I've got no real intention of it. You know, I watched a really, really long review of episode. That's right. I watched a super long review by Mauler. Episode 9, and it was longer than the film. Right? And I enjoyed that because the guys talking about it on EFAP or whatever it was much more entertaining than the film's going to be. And so the Eternals is like that. You know, like the Lord of the Rings TV, the first season of it. You know, I watched a bit of one episode, and that's enough. I get it. I get it. I don't need to see it. I'm not interested in seeing it. So yeah, no, I would not have watched Eternals 2.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Captain America: Winter Soldier, Bo?
Well, is that the one where he's like a weakling at the beginning, and then they make him all buffed up and big?
No, that's the first one. That's
so I saw
America,
that, and I haven't seen the other one. No.
Yeah, I because I know you're not really into the whole comic book movie scene, right?
I mean, I don't mind them. I don't despise them all out of hand.
Yeah.
If it looks good, then I'll watch it. You know, there's a fair few I have watched and liked. Even some that a lot of people didn't, like the first Ant-Man one with Paul Rudd. I thought was all right. No one else seems to think that. I like it. Right? Yeah. If Wolverine's in something, I'll almost certainly give it a whirl. I really liked the first. What's the one with Deadpool? The first Deadpool I really liked. Deadpool 2,
it was great.
I thought was not too bad either. But you know, I'm not going to watch every single one as a matter of course.
Yeah. No, and that's probably a healthier route to take than what Nick and I do. Nick, what do you? Nick, are you disappointed? No Eternals too.
Not disappointed at all. So I tried watching Eternals when it came available online. I tried getting through it like 3 different times and fell asleep every single time.
God,
I have no idea what happens at the end of the movie because I can't get through it because it's so boring and terrible.
There's a giant celestial sticking out of the planet that apparently just has been there and nobody's ever mentioned again. Yeah,
but that speaks absolute volumes, doesn't it? If you attempt to film more than once. That says everything you need to know. It's like a book reading a novel and you're really, really struggling to keep reading. I mean, the author has sort of failed in their first charge, which is to make you want to read on, or in a movie, watch on. They failed then. It's a failure.
Well, and again, this is the problem with the way they subvert entertainment is they fail the audience because the audience now has no incentive to return to see a second one after the first one was so incredibly disappointing, disheartening, and disloyal to the content of the original material. And a lot of people grew up with this stuff, right? The people who are really hardcore and the people that drive an audience. I mean, I grew up with comic books. I grew up with classic television shows. I grew up with the very earliest iterations of video games. And so when somebody goes out of their way to make something that's lackluster and diverge from, the original storylines or characterizations of the characters, now I have no compunction about A, calling out, and B, ignoring it, and C, not giving any money for it. So Bo, you have a much healthier thing than I do, because no matter that's what I believe and feel, I'm still going to see these things so I can prevent other people from spending their hard-earned money on this garbage.
To be fair, Coach, don't beat yourself up. It's your job. It's actually your job.
It's true. It's true.
But yeah, I mean,
it's my job to suffer for everybody.
You know, when we get older, or even into middle age, dare I say it, and you've actually got a life, and you've got limited time.
Limited time.
Something's actually sort of got to earn my time a little bit. Right, it's different when you're 15 and you've got loads and loads of school holidays and you've got endless time to fill. Well, when you get in your 30s and 40s, it's just not good. It's not the case often anymore.
Yeah.
So it's actually really got to earn it. It's got to catch my attention and make me want to watch it. So yeah.
I guarantee you, if you watch Captain America: Winter Soldier, you'll think that it's one of the best comic book films you've ever seen.
Okay.
And if you, I mean, look, I mean, you reach back in time to the first Iron Man film. I mean,
that was really good.
The character of Tony Stark is there. You only had, and I'm going to tell you this much: had they not cast Robert Downey Jr. in the role of Tony Stark, we may not have had a successful start to what was going to be the MCU.
Yeah.
So it just didn't work out. And I mean, Hulk was right around the same time frame. I think they were in a few months of each other. And the original Hulk film with Ed Norton did not do well.
Nope.
Yeah. So,
apparently, they scrapped him because he's such a dickhead.
He's hard to work with.
Yeah.
He's hard to work with.
Iron Man 1 is good. Yeah. I've heard that about Ed Norton all the time. I hate it when actors want to start directing a film or want to start rewriting dialogue and stuff. If I was ever a director, I'd be a bit of a tyrant. I'd be like, no, you read the lines a professional writer has written for you.
I'll venture to say that somebody who fixed that problem though on something that would have been much worse off was Wednesday actress Jenna Ortega, because she said that character would never do that. She was so familiar with Wednesday Addams that she pushed back against the writers and said she regretted how she went about it later. Probably shouldn't have made it public. But
there's always an exception to the rule.
Yeah. Sometimes people make good decisions, but I'm with you 100% otherwise.